So welcome everyone to the School of Timeless Wisdom. My name is Amni Amin, and today we're going to speak about water. So the most important element in our lives is water for a variety of reasons. We don't really think much about water and how it's actually the source of our lives and the source of life on earth and so on. So I'm going to just pay tribute to water today, because over the past few weeks, I've been concentrating on color, I've been concentrating on gemstones, I've been concentrating on food, lots of things. The one thing that I haven't really focused on, which is the most essential in our lives, is water. And here, what do I mean by water? Now, I'm going today to speak about two sides of water. The first side is its chemical composition, which we all know, it's H2O. So it's composed of hydrogen and oxygen. And you will always hear two things. This is oxygenated water, or this is hydrogenized. And they're both used medically for healing. So they can infuse water with more oxygen to oxygenate the cells, or hydrogen. And I'm going to actually leave this bit to another talk. But today I want to speak to you about the importance and significance of healing yourself through water. Water, first and foremost, we are composed of over around 72 or more % of our bodies are water. And water is not only inside our body, it is also outside. So nature needs water. The rivers, the oceans, the sky, the clouds, rain, water is everywhere. Even when you go to the North Pole, it's ice. So water has many states of existence, and it plays a vital role. Let me start by the simplest. Water is one of the main 4 elements for life. And since our bodies are mainly composed of water, we need to drink water. Why? We need to drink water because water moves everything, all the nutrients, everything in our body from cell to cell. And without water, you can just deflate us to less than 30% of our size. We will not exist. I want to dedicate today's talk to how to purify our water and how to drink water. Do we really need to drink, as some people say, a minimum of 2 to 3 liters a day? Do we need 4 liters and more? And so on and so forth. I wanted to start by saying, listen to your heart, listen to the needs of your body, because when you're living in a hot climate, you're perspiring, and of course you need to drink more water. When you're living in a colder environment, it's different and you don't need so much water. But what I have noticed is that people in cold climates are drinking water all the time. This equals one thing: the water that we are drinking, if you need to drink a lot of it, it means the water you're drinking is not hydrating you enough. Look at that. The water you're drinking is not hydrating you enough. And I'm going to speak about the quality of water. Why? So first of all, the easiest form of getting water is opening the tap and getting a glass of water. Now, this glass of water in the good old days used to be good for you, but now water is contaminated and it comes to us from long distance, or it has passed through so much that the chemical structure of water is the same, but the molecular structure, the molecules in the water that we are drinking, are different. The smaller the molecules, the healthier for your happiness, for your body, for your well-being. What do I mean by small and big molecules? How would you know? First of all, you need to make sure that the water that has come to you has settled. If water is on the move through the tap, through the pipes, coming down from somewhere, it's on the move, it means it is fast, speedy water. That means that its molecular structure has expanded. So it's not the small, healthy molecules that hydrate you. And you need to make water settle down. Settle down by receiving this water into a container and leaving the container to settle for a few hours. Now, this is A. B, you need to make sure that the water you're going to drink is alkaline in nature, more alkaline, like not acidic. I bet you that the majority of the water you drink, especially from plastic bottles, is extremely harmful for you. And it is not over 7.6 in the scale of alkaline to acidic. It needs to be as alkaline as possible. And what I mean by it has to exceed 7.6. If it's 8, that's excellent. If it's 8.5, that's even better, depending on your needs. But the more alkaline your water is, the healthier you are. And I'm going to here use a disclaimer. The information that I gathered here are from medical journals, books, various places. I'm not speaking as a medical doctor. I'm speaking here about water in terms of energy. So this is my disclaimer. But water, I've noticed, and I'm going to speak from firsthand experience, has helped me to have control of my well-being. And I would love to say that there is one thing that you can heal everything with, and it is the quality of your water. Because the quality of your water, it has the ability to heal each and every cell in your body and in your environment, because it is the medium that connects us all. It connects the continents together. It connects people through its rivers together, and it is the giver of life. So having said that, you need to start with alkaline water. Make sure that it's alkaline, and you need to make sure that your water has not been juggling around and it has settled. It is settled water. In the good old days, we used to have these big earthenware where they would put water in, and they would take through a jug or a cup what they need to drink. Now here, the very first form of purifying the water you get from the tap is putting it in earthenware. Why? Earthenware takes the negative aspects of the water, and it truly helps to give it back the nutrients that it is lacking. So that's number one, using earthenware. How simple is that? So going back to how the ancient ones used to use water. The second simplest way to purify your water is to add something to it that I spoke about it before, and some people actually contacted me asking me what is it. And it is in your jug or in your cup or whatever, you add frankincense. And I got some here for you to show you what it looks like and what I mean by frankincense. Yes, the frankincense that we burn, that are used in places of worship, or that you burn to kind of like clean your chakra. So this is just these. You pop in a few of them, 4 or 5 in your jug, or here I've popped one in the glass that I'm drinking from, and it energizes your water, it purifies your water. And if you've got any problems with the kidneys, with urinal tracts, with anything there, it kind of like helps you to get rid of stones and what have you. It is brilliant. It is excellent. I use it all the time for my drinking water. Now, Other things that you can add to your water. For me, the most vital thing to add to the water, because our water is lacking in lots of things, is, and I spoke also about this before, for a gallon of water, or at least 2 liters or whatever, get half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt, rock salt, not table salt, not the chemical salt that they sell in the market, because it is 1/3 salt, 1/3 glass, 1/3 sand. You don't need it. It harms you. Just get the rock salt. You don't need a big quantity, like a bag of sea salt, even sea salt. I mean, if you can get sea salt, that's brilliant. I have reservations about sea salt now because the seas are contaminated. But get a good form of natural salt and add it to your jug of water, just half a teaspoon. That's enough. Why do we add salt to the water? Because when you drink water with Himalayan salt, it gives it back all the goodness, and it also allows the cells in your body to communicate. It kind of like enhances the electricity of the cells in your body. This is vital. Other ways of energizing your water: saffron. You can just take a few saffron threads and just drop them in the bottom of your jug and drink this water. Now, I was reading by coincidence, and I don't believe that anything is a coincidence, Edgar Cayce, Home Remedies. And Edgar Cayce himself said that the water you should drink should be either saffron added to it, I was just like, wow, or chamomile. So you bring the chamomile, not tea bags, loose chamomile, and you can boil it and leave it, according to Edgar Cayce, and leave it on the side, and you just take from that concentrated liquid like a tablespoon onto a gallon of water, and alternate. Once you do chamomile and once you add saffron. To be very honest, I haven't tried this. I drink chamomile tea daily because chamomile is an astringent and it helps with digestion and it calms the stomach. Chamomile is amazing. And of course, saffron, they call it the elixir. So it's the elixir of life. Saffron has lots and lots of abilities. Now, properties. In the summer, I usually add a few drops of rose water just for the essence, the flavor for me, because as I said, roses have the highest concentration of, the highest frequency ever. So it raises your vibration. In the winter, I use flower water or orange blossom, just a few drops, and they work for me. Going back to clearing your water. Now, it doesn't take much to cleanse your water. If you cannot get hold of any of the things that I said, how can you make use of your water? Or how can you really energize your water and make sure that what's happening with your water is healthy, is happy? I would say the most important thing for the water, after you made sure A, it's alkaline, B, how to make sure it's alkaline, just use litmus paper and see where it is. The bluer it is, the better for you. So if you cannot see whether it's alkaline or acidic, make sure it is BPA free, like no water from plastic bottles. And if you have to drink from a plastic bottle, read the label. Avoid fluorine, avoid all these very heavy poisonous substances that are added to the water on top of your plastic. So try and get BPA-free alkaline water. The best form is glass. Now, I don't just use glass. I sometimes also use crystal, because what you put the water in the container you drink from affects the water and affects your body. So I try and target things that are of benefit to my body, like crystal, but you don't have to complicate life. As I said, the best is going back to earthenware. If you can afford drinking out of silver cups, it's amazingly healing. Silver heals lots of things in your body, and it energizes the body. Now, the water is very intelligent. Why do we pay so much attention to water? Because water has memory. Water holds the memory. And you can go back and listen to the beautiful, may God rest his soul in peace, Dr. Emoto, the Japanese scientist who wrote books. It's vital that you read Messages from the Water. And he showed how the water crystals differ from place to place and are affected by what you say. So if you hold a glass of water and you bless the water molecules change. If you curse the water, the molecules in the water become really toxic for the body. And he proved this. Now, this is just science. Go and read the book. So it means water holds memory. It holds the memory of the vibration of the person who's holding it. If I'm holding a glass of water and you check the frequency and the vibration, it will differ from the same water that is held in the same cup by someone else. It will give you a different measure. So this is why I always tell you, please, before eating or drinking anything, bless your food. Bless your food and drink, because it gives order to the food. It kind of like helps its chemical composition. Its composition actually changes its composition, not the chemical composition, but the unseen bit, because there is always the seen and the unseen. So the unseen element of any food and drink immediately changes when you bless it, when you say a prayer. And you don't have to be religious to do this. You can just say, I invoke beauty, love, joy, whatever it is that you'd like to have more in your life, and bless the food with it. Bless your drink with it. Please, if there is any aggro that happens, or a misunderstanding, or people are, they sometimes get into quarrels at the dinner table, do not eat this food until you bless it. Or I usually just abstain from the food and politely leave. So this is how you take care of yourself. Now, I'm going to go back to the bit when I said that water keeps the memory. Remember that water works in many states. Although it is colorless, tasteless, odorless, it is the miracle liquid of life, because it has a solid state, you know, ice, snow, that's a form of water, liquid state, and gaseous state. And our body, since it's composed of over 70% of water, is affected. It is affected by the weather conditions around us, and it is affected by the moon. Just as the moon plays with the ebb, the flow, you know, ebb and flow of the waters, the water masses on Earth, it also plays with the water composition inside your body. You need to have a look at your body and see if whether you're affected by the moon or not. It's actually not directly affecting you, it's affecting the water inside your body. So some people tend to have headaches during specific periods of phases of the moon. Target what happens to your body. Women's menstrual cycle is also related to the moon. This is liquid in the body, the water in the body. So here you would, by experimenting with your body, know that you're lacking one thing. If you get headaches, you're lacking water, you're dehydrated. I was reading about the diaries of a Persian physician who was imprisoned. And as a physician, he really wanted to heal people. And he didn't have access to anything in prison except water. So he started, whenever a prisoner approached him and said, help me, heal me, whatever, he would just give them water, and he would find that they became better. And he, over a period, because he was in prison for years, he noticed that he hasn't added anything to the water, but those prisoners were dehydrated. So many of the ailments or many of the things that we face can be rectified by drinking water. This is why water has many states. For example, when you're feverish, they always place cold water on your forehead and the face to bring the temperature down. And when you have a headache and you tend to drink water, it eases lots of things in the body. I want to say one thing, that it is, of course, the water needs to be from a clean source, but it is very much related to the vitality of your body and what you impress on the water. Because water changes from liquid, from solid to liquid to gaseous state. And the water in our body is the same water that will go up in the clouds. It will go out of our body and then into Mother Earth, and then it's going to evaporate again into the clouds, and then it's going to rain into the rivers, and we are going to take it again, and it's going to go into the plant, and you're going to eat that plant, and it's going to come back into your body and then out of your body, and so on. It's a cycle that water is the one thing that connects every living thing, human or non-human. So we all share water. And this is why the memory of the water is very important. The ancients knew this. The ancients who lived thousands of years ago impressed their memory. Their computer chip was the snow, and it melted and went into the water that we drink. This is why we've got their memories, believe it or not. Also, we are impressing the water we drink with our own vibrations and memories. So we're adding to this. So water is a very important medium. It is the most important medium of carrying information about us. Having said this, the most important thing again is to target the fact that when you come to drink a glass of water, talk over it. Talk to your water. Treat it as your friend, because it becomes who you are. You are what you eat and drink. Yes, you can look at it from a chemical composition, but the molecules in the water will hold the memory cells of anything you impress upon it. So having placed my water in a container that I like and I left it to settle, I do one thing. I usually choose containers that have got certain mantras, prayers, or I impress on it. I actually write on the container what I want for this week or for this period of time to be receiving from my water. And the water is very intelligent. It will carry this memory. And as I drink it, I'm drinking the wisdom, I'm drinking love, I'm drinking joy. So these molecules that are impressed in the water, the crystals will go into my cells and add more and more of the thing that I have been asking. So your words give order to the things that you place in your body. And even if you're not drinking water, what you say, because your body is water, 72% water. So every time you tell yourself, I love you, the water molecules, the liquid molecules in your body are impressed with this, impregnated with what you say. You know, what you say is what you will get. So if you're continuously saying, I'm fat, your water molecules are hearing this and they will expand. Trust me. If you're continually saying, I'm beautiful, you will radiate beauty. Even on days that you haven't done much for yourself, people will say, you look gorgeous. It's everything in your body listens to what you say. I can go on and on about water because it is one of the most important elements in our lives. And it is the main element that gives life to our planet and to us and to all living beings. There is more to water than it's colorless, tasteless, because it is ready for you to impress your will upon it, your intention. This is why it is tasteless and colorless. You make it what you want it to be. Some people ask me what are the best sources of water. For me, I love rainwater. If there is a way for you to gather rainwater, provided that, of course, you filter the rainwater so you don't get anything. Rainwater comes straight from heaven. It is great, unless you have acid clouds in the area you live in, or you have a factory nearby, avoid it. But otherwise, I love rainwater, and it cleanses lots of things in the body because it is impressed by very high energies from the clouds. It just comes down to you. And other people ask me, how can they, in their kitchen, in their houses, sanitize their water? I've given you bits where you are on the move or what to do, but the filters, of course, putting a filter is better than not putting a filter. Some people prefer reverse osmosis, and it's very good if you can afford it. Other people go for savvy machines like Kangen machine. If you can afford one, go ahead, why not? It gives you from the most acidic to the most alkaline range, but the price is very high. So it's entirely up to you and entirely up to your budget. Today, I gave you things that don't cost you anything, like next to nothing on what or how to impress your water with things that can help your body. For me, the purest form is what Dr. Emoto used, which is distilled water. Now, you will find lots of people saying distilled water has been stripped from everything. It is not good. It lost this. I'd rather lose the heavy metals and the fluorine and all the garbage that is now impressed on the water, and have clean, clear water that I impress, and I add half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt or saffron or whatever, then drink the water that they are that is available in plastic bags that poison my system. So here, this is my answer. Distilled water is key, because distilled water has got no memory. It has gone from a liquid state to a gaseous state, and this gaseous state, the vapor is condensing to form pure water, where anything and everything and the heavy metals in the water have been left out. And I take this water and I work with it. I work with it as a healer. I work with it to heal myself and to help others. I want to say that water is not only important to drink at home or for your body or wherever you go. When you're finding people carrying bottles everywhere they're going, know one thing: the water they're drinking is not satisfying them. The molecular structure, not the chemical, the molecular structure of the water, the molecules are big, they are not small and healthy, and they are not satisfying the body. You don't need a lot of water. Some people tell me, oh, I drink a lot of liquids, like tea, coffee, herbal teas, cola, whatever it is. This does not count as water. This does not count. On the contrary. And of course, here I'm against anything carbonated. Sometimes I drink, if I feel like it, I drink carbonated water with I squeeze half a lemon to my water because although lemons are seen as acidic, they actually become alkaline once they hit the water. Use water to cleanse your body. When you're not feeling well, have a shower. Make sure that the shower hose, you add a filter. Filter your water because it's full of lots of toxins. Or have a salt bath. Epsom salt is great. If you haven't got a bath, because now everything is about a shower, bring a small container and soak your 2 feet in water with Epsom salt. Water is all around you. Make sure, if you can, that weekly you go to the sea, you go to fresh water and swim. It's cleansing. If you cannot, do what you can. I hope that I very quickly covered things that you can do. It's just like I barely scraped the surface of how important water is. But remember, water is your memory bank. Water is you. And your ideas, what you circulate in the water, will circulate in your body, and then you'll give them back to the rest of us. We're all using the same water. This is why when I get water, when I'm outside my home and people are offering me water or I'm thirsty, I realize that everybody's memory bank is in this liquid. So it can be positive, it can be negative, it can be lots of things. Bless your water. On this note, love and light to all of you, and blessed be. And I'm going to open it up for questions now. Feel free to join me every Monday for School of Timeless Wisdom. If you so happen to be where I am, I travel all around. You're welcome to come and attend in person. You're welcome to join us live on Zoom and ask questions. Otherwise, my YouTube channel has it all. Blessed be.